What's up guys, I'm Newbie Dave and welcome to the Weekend Update. Let's get started. So how's it going everyone? Hope you're having a great weekend. As you may have already noticed, I am outside of our base today, and that's because today's build is not really about the villagers. Today's build is all about me. See, I've been saying for some time now, I need my own farmland. My farmer villagers, they're perfectly happy with their little plot of land. They're doing great. They plant their carrots, they harvest their carrots, they're fine. But I need somewhere that I can grow some of my own crops to trade with the farmer villagers to get lots of emeralds so I can trade with other villagers and do lots of stuff. And I don't want to use up a whole lot of space inside the base for that because I'm going to need a lot of space for the villagers. So I'm going to plant these crops outside. And what I've been doing here is replacing one of the iron fence walls with some spruce gates so that I can get in and out pretty easily without letting any critters in. I thought about putting some pressure plates here to automatically open and close them behind me, but I get, sheep and cows and pigs and cats and all sorts of stuff that spawn in here. And all it takes is one of them to just come stand on a pressure plate, and now like all the hostile mobs are getting in my base. So I'm just going to open and close these manually. So this is going to be my means in and out of the base on this side of the wall. I'll probably do something very similar elsewhere in the future as I have need to get out. So for this farm, I want to use this hill right here because I was already planning on building a farm like this, but I was really kind of inspired by the sort of stepped terrace look of the Savannah Villager farm that I found in the last episode over there. So I want a farm that's on different levels, and each level is going to go up by one block as it goes back. And since we've got this nice little hill here and our wall is going up, I figured this was the perfect place to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start down here and I'll mark what will be the front of this farm. I think I'll start it kind of right here. And each section is going to be 5 blocks long. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the 6th block, there will be a row of steps where you'll step up to the next level, 5 blocks, row of steps, and so on. Now each of these is also going to be 8 blocks wide. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then on the 9th block, that will be the other wall. So it'll be 8 blocks of farmland. And make sure I got that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 blocks of farmland between the walls. And then there will be 5 blocks of farmland between each step. So I'm going to drop this down by 1 because I want this to be on the level that the farmland is going to be on. And this means I'm also going to need to do a little bit of terraforming to kind of strip away some of the hillside here, because even though I want this thing going up, this hill goes up a little bit faster than I want my farmland to go up, and I don't want it to just be like looming over the farm. So let me get the steps in place and then we'll move forward. Alright, so I got this whole thing leveled out. I've got each level of farmland the same level. How many times can I say level? And I cleared out some of the hill behind this, so it wasn't just kind of a sheer cliff face that dropped down to the farm. And then I replaced the wool with some spruce logs pointing upwards, because these are going to be the pillars or the support beams between each level. Now, how are we going to irrigate this thing? We could just dig out a block in the middle and fill it with water, like we do for every other farm that we build, but that's kind of boring and we've done it before, so I want to do something different. So what I'm going to do this time is dig out a little trough in between each of these spruce pillars, and I'm going to put in some cobblestone stairs. We'll mix in some mossy cobblestone stairs as well, and then we're going to waterlog these things. And the stairs will hold the water, and this will be enough water to irrigate the entire farm if we do both sides, because the water can irrigate up to 4 blocks away, and our farmland is 8 blocks wide, and so the entire side will irrigate all the way up to the middle on both sides. And so the water is actually going to be on the sides of our farms instead of going down the middle. And by doing the stairs like this, and then we're also going to put some spruce fences on top, and this is going to look really good. It's going to be part of the build instead of just sticking out or something that we're trying to cover up. And I think it's going to look really nice just having the water run along the sides like that. So let me get all these put in and filled in with water, and then we'll continue. There we go. So we got all the water irrigation put in along the sides. We got all the fences put up. Now we can fill this guy in, and we can go ahead and start planting our crops. So I'm not done with the back here, but I'll get to that next. I'm going to go ahead and turn all this into farmland. And then on this back section, I'm just going to go ahead and plant wheat. In my first farms, I mixed them all up because if you mix your crops up, they'll actually grow a lot faster. I'm not going to be too worried about that this time. And somehow that was the wrong number. 1, 2, oh, you know what? This back row is not supposed to be farmland. This is just normal dirt. There we go. And then for our step down, I'm going to put cobblestone on this row right here. And that way it's a much more gentle step down, because if you just drop from one block up, then it may end up turning the farmland that you land on back into regular soil. Also, while I've been yeah, these seeds just keep popping up for some reason. I don't know what's I have no idea what's going on. I don't know if it's because there's no sky above it and the light is too dim or what, but that's something that I've been noticing with planting back here, and I don't know what's going on. If anyone has any ideas, please drop me a line, because that really has me stumped. So let me go ahead and put in the rest of my crops here. Okay, put in some new lighting. Hopefully this will help with the crops just randomly popping out. I didn't think it mattered. Like, as long as there was enough lighting for them to grow, I figured they would grow. So I don't know why they're popping out, but they haven't been popping out lately, so I'm going to assume that it's fixed and move on. So for this back wall, we're going to do something a little bit special to turn this into kind of a semi-automatic crop farm. Semi-automatic in that you're still going to have to do a lot of the work, but what we're going to do will save us a lot of time and just kind of make it look really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a row of stairs right here and then dig out behind it 2 blocks. So we're going to have this little trough behind it, and I guess I'll go around it in some cobblestone as well, like so. So now we've got this trough that's 2 blocks wide, and for this front row we're going to go ahead and dig down 1 more row. And on the bottom here we are going to put sticky pistons like let's put sticky pistons like this, and on top of that we will put some cobblestone. So when the sticky pistons are extended, the cobblestone is going to be pushed up 1 block, which means that this back trough is actually 1 row too low. So let me raise this up a little bit. Yeah, because when these things are extended, we want the trough to be here. We're going to fill this with water. And so in the meantime, we need to do a little bit of digging. So let me come out to right here, and I'm going to dig down a little bit. We want to get underneath the sticky pistons like this. And I'm going to dig out all the way under all the sticky pistons. All right, so we dug out under all the pistons. I'm also going to dig back 1 block, and I'm going to just replace all of this with red concrete. I've mentioned before that when you're doing redstone circuitry underground, it's a good idea to use some sort of block that stands out that you're not naturally going to run across. So if you end up doing some digging around in the area later and you run across, say, red concrete, then you know to stop and don't dig through that. If you just put the stuff on dirt or stone or something, you may end up breaking it accidentally in the future. All right, so those redstone torches are going to light up or power all of the sticky pistons, so now they are all extended. And so we're going to go back down here again. Now we need to get behind all these. So I'm going to go back like this, and we want to go back behind them by 2 blocks. Now I'm not going to do red concrete for absolutely every block that has redstone on it, because that would just get too expensive, but I'm going to do it for a couple of these. And behind each of these, we're going to do a repeater going into it. And just for fun, I'm going to set some of these to various ticks. So I'm going to ignore the one on the end. I'll go in 1, set that to 1 tick, the next one to 2 ticks, then the one after that to 3 ticks. And then I'll just do the same thing going the other way. So 3 ticks, 2 ticks, and 1 tick. What that's going to do is it's going to create a small delay as you move from the outside in, and then from the other side in. And that's going to look really cool later, which I'll show you. Now we need to replace some of the stone and start putting redstone on it so that it connects all these repeaters together. And now we are going to bring this redstone signal all the way back to the front of our farm here. So I'm actually going to need to dig this thing all the way back out to the front. And this is a little bit of a problem. The fact that the fact that it's going to come up to the surface is a little bit of a problem. So what I'm probably going to do is actually go down like this. And I'll do a little tunnel that kind of goes under the farm a little bit, because I don't want the redstone to be at ground level. Now here's a better idea. I'm going to start with where I want it to be, and I'll start digging back from here. So I want redstone right there. We're going to put a block on top of it to activate it, and so I'll start digging back to the back of the base from here. And lo and behold, this is where we came out. So I did have the right level in mind. So what we're going to need to do in order to get a redstone signal all the way to the back there, I think we're going to have to put a repeater here. That might be, I think I might need to do it there. Yeah, so that'll be good. So the repeater will like reactivate the signal so it's at full strength, and that'll carry it back around to all the other ones. And so let's just test this out. Let's put down a redstone torch, which I don't have. So let me make a redstone torch. Oh, and that's not going to power them. You know, we can put the repeater right here on the turn. There we go. There we go. So you could hear all the pistons deactivate. And now they're reactivating. All right, that's perfect. So we're going to carry this redstone signal all the way back to the front. And then periodically, for the same reason, we're just going to have to put down another repeater just to sort of reboost the redstone signal so it goes all the way. Now to activate this thing, I want to use a button. So I'm going to put a cobblestone on top of the redstone and a button on top of that. Now when I hit this, it should activate the whole thing, and you can see the cobblestone on the back drops. And because we put those delays in the repeaters, it creates this really cool sort of ripple effect as it goes. So that's why I did that. So let me fill this back in with some dirt so you don't ever see the redstone, and then I'll show how this works. All right, so here's how this is going to work. Our crops have been growing. Some of them I think are ready to harvest. Most of them aren't, but that's okay because we'll come back and replant them some other time. So what I'm going to do, I need to fill this whole back trough with water. So there we go. So this whole back thing is filled with water. So whenever we are ready to harvest our crops, rather than going level by level and just punching the ground and trying to get everything up, we're just going to hit this button and check this out. We just get this like tsunami of water that rolls down each level of crops, and it just grabs everything and brings it right to us. How cool is that? Now you could put hoppers here that go into a chest. I don't really care. The hoppers are kind of slow, so it takes a while to collect everything. And as you can see, the water, it doesn't push everything up to the front, so you're still gonna have to run around and collect it. The main thing that you get from this is the water basically harvests all the crops for you, so you don't have to go around punching the ground. And so as we run around and plant new crops, we'll pick up everything that didn't get washed to the front, and it's gonna make harvesting this stuff so much easier. And that's going to wrap it up. So we've got our brand new semi-automatic crop farm that's going to provide us with all the crops that we need to trade with our farmer villagers to get tons and tons of emeralds. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, please hit that like button. And while you're down there, feel free to subscribe so you'll get notified of future episodes as they come out. Thanks y'all, and have a great day.